All right, we have made it. We've made it to lesson 150. We're at the end of the review section. Oh gosh. Oh, we're at the end. We should start over again. My mind holds only what I think with God. That has been the theme for a few days now. So is it in there? A little bit. Because even though it was like pounded in our heads by our own selves, to me, it's only in there a little bit still. So where are you at with this? My mind holds only what I think with God. Are you recognizing all the ways that you are thinking with the ego thought system? Oh, I have to sneeze. Are you, whew, something just came over me. Are you clearing your mind out now more of thoughts that do not belong? So lesson 150 says, my mind holds only what I think with God. I will accept atonement for myself. Only salvation can be said to cure. So that's all that's written there today. And then tomorrow we're back on it. Oh my gosh. Like 4 pages. Okay. So we better accept atonement today. And see where that leads us. What is atonement? Let Jesus tell you. What is the atonement? Well, for lesson 150, my mind holds only what I think with God. Jesus said the atonement is the reintegration and healing of your mind. Reintegration and healing of your mind is atonement, and you can receive atonement through your practice of forgiveness. And you get a lot of practice in the ego world because you're constantly seeing the effects of many, many, many egoic thoughts. The effects are fear and hate and division. These type of thoughts have created this material world. Unloving minds created the material world. So you get a lot of practice when you see anger or hatred or rage. You practice forgiveness. You practice forgiveness when you catch yourself projecting your own guilt and your own miscreations and the miscreations and projected guilt of others. Practice forgiveness. So atonement is the reintegration and healing of your mind, and transforming your mind will change all those around you. Transforming your mind and practicing forgiveness does not make you weak or anything like that. It actually makes you a very powerful creator. So focus your mind on love. You will see great results. So the divisive, violent, hateful, conflicted, bang, bang, bang world is the result of miscreated thoughts. It is the result of the ego's thought system creating on a massive scale. So you're going to have more than enough to practice with every time you turn around. You don't even have to turn around. You can just be in your own head and having access to the ego thought system. And you're going to have to utilize your practice of forgiveness. You're going to have to forgive yourself for miscreating and projecting guilt. Yeah, there's a lot to it. But where did it say, if you focus your mind on love, you're going to have great results. You will. You will start to create powerfully wonderful, beautiful things within yourself. And as you create them in your mind, voila, they are reflected outside of you. And as you change your mind, you change everybody. And that's the only way to change anybody. By changing you. By changing you. So I will accept atonement for myself today. Only salvation can be said to cure. So we don't really try to fix the conflicted world by conflicting with it. That only makes it worse. That only makes the ego's world more real. Only salvation can be said to cure the big old frickin' mess that we have miscreated here. Pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the reading, A Course in Miracles workbook, lesson 150, Insights. Review. My mind holds only what I think with God, and I will accept atonement for myself. Only salvation can be said to cure. Only returning to God will cure all sorrow and all pain, all lack and loss. We all came from God and have never left God in truth. We experience something other than our true self, our source, when we join with the ego thought system. We join with the ego thought system by identifying with its beliefs, its thoughts, its false ideas. All the false ideas found within the ego thought system were founded on the belief that we are separate from our true self, that we are separate from God's love. When we believe we are separate from God's love, we can't help but experience sorrow and pain, lack and feelings of loss. Belief in the ego's thought system is belief in the death of our one self. The only cure or antidote for the pain and loss we feel is accepting atonement for ourselves. Accepting atonement means accepting a change of mind, accepting a return to the truth, accepting God's love, returning to our right mind, remembering that our mind holds only what we think with God. Only this return to the truth is a true and lasting cure for all the ills of the world. Our real salvation comes as we return to our one true identity, which alone is real. We delay this return when we get so wrapped up in the world's activities that there is no time left to devote to God. God is my salvation. God is the cure to every ill, every sense of lack, and return to God is the only answer. Return to love is the only answer. Today I will practice letting my mind open to receive the truth about myself and my brothers. It is only the truth of our oneness in love that provides the real answer I seek. It is helpful to remember that the Course defines atonement as perfect love. It also says it is the undoing of what never happened. It is not paying for or doing penance to expiate sin. Atonement does not make sin real, but in fact recognizes its unreality. This is a reversal of most Christian teaching and is an example of the many ways the Course redefines many religious terms as part of the complete thought reversal it is leading us toward. In the Manual for Teachers, atonement, salvation, forgiveness, and healing are all equated as one. There is no sacrifice in atonement or salvation, only healing and forgiveness. Through forgiveness, I learn to see innocence everywhere. As I see innocence, I see harmlessness, and I return to the awareness of God's perfect safety and His love. I no longer need to defend against the truth, but rather see it as my source of happiness, peace, and freedom. The recognition that this world is all illusion means that all the interactions between bodies and forms have no effect whatsoever on reality. What is unreal cannot affect reality at all. I begin to see, as truth replaces illusion in my awareness, that nothing has ever really happened to change me in any way. Thus, forgiveness is natural, for it is recognized that in truth, there is nothing to forgive. This recognition opens my mind to the awareness that it holds nothing but the thoughts of love I think with God. Step by step, these lessons are guiding me to the full acceptance of myself as I was created. A passage that means a lot to me is, "The Holy Spirit is not delayed in his teaching by your mistakes. He can be held back only by your unwillingness to let them go." I have posted this where I will see it frequently. It is important to me that I remind myself that my errors have no real effects. There is no reason for me to feel guilty or afraid because of them. Experiencing fear and guilt is just my way of clinging to my errors. I choose instead to release them. This is a way that I accept atonement for myself. Pathwaysoflight.org. All right. Thank you, Pathways of Light. So how can accepting atonement for yourself help you today to let go of some of the things that you perceive as wrong, your own errors or somebody else's? In truth, in true reality, they didn't do anything wrong. I mean, they didn't affect true reality. How about that? Ego mind is like, yes, they did. But how can these concepts help you in your own life to let go of more stuff that you hold on to? We hold on to a lot of stuff. So let these lessons, however challenging and extreme and that they may feel to you, see just how maybe a little bit of your willingness to let them help you let go of things. See how that goes for you and let me know how it's going. I mean, I feel like my ego has been supercharged lately in its efforts to invite me in to play its game, to try to use like all types of ammunition against my own self to see if I can get triggered, to see if I can get upset, to think if I have a dark fantasy about someone or something and see if I can get that energy of confrontation stirred up. I mean, the more I do the lessons and the more that I let A Course in Miracles like really in, sinking in, aha moments, like, wow, we're letting go. You know, there is sometimes a little bit of a counter effect within my mind. Like the ego's like, we got to get her back. She was a good team player. She was good at what she did. Like, we're losing this JB. We got to get her back. So I'm really, really being super diligent because I'm seeing the contrast big time. And I do want a correction of my mind. And I do want to change my mind because I like the effects that I'm witnessing the more I change my mind with Holy Spirit. I'm liking the effects that I see within myself. And yes, when I change my mind, that is how I affect other people around me. All right. Put that in the comments, Sadie.